Hello, everybody, and welcome to the GamersGrove podcast, episode 16. Today is June 3rd, 2018. We are your hosts, Will, Austin, and Brady.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. So, for those of you tuning in for the first time, welcome. We are a gaming news podcast. We try to cater ourselves towards newbies, people who maybe don't know too much about the games industry, but want to take a dive into it. We also try to, when we can, when there's news about it, focus on the business side of the games industry and, talk about any deals that are going on and explain how that might affect you as a consumer. So, yeah, welcome. Today, we are going to be talking about PUBG's continuously dropping player count, Fallout 6 announcement, the Assassin's Creed Odyssey reveal leak.
Slash leak, yeah.
Slash leak, it's a leak. And much more. But before we get into any of that, we're going to be talking about games that we played this week. I have one I'd like to start out on, if y'all don't mind.
Go for
right
it.
ahead.
All right. Well, I started playing Alien Isolation again after owning the game for like over a year and a half. It's super spooky. We actually streamed it a little bit yesterday, Rebecca and I. She's the reason I'm able to play it now because I'm too scared to play it by myself. But having someone else sit next to me being equally terrified helps kind of level things out. Alien Isolation, it is a first-person survival horror game. Essentially, you are on a spaceship, there's an alien hunting you, and you've got to not die. This game in particular is quite famous as far as horror games go because the AI is so smart. I believe most of the development, it was made by Creative Assembly, by the way. Most of the development that went into it was focused around the alien's AI. It learns from your moves. It's hyper intelligent. I can't really get into it too much because I haven't gotten too far into the game, but I do know that it was designed to be a very smart AI that learns from what the player does and punishes them for trying to pull the same moves on it.
That's kind of terrifying.
Oh no, yeah,
I
it's
didn't realize
terrifying.
it was an AI. I didn't realize that.
It's very smart. Like, even if you hide in the same place for too long, it'll eventually find you. Like, it is constantly searching the room and like everything. So you got to keep moving, which sucks because when I get scared, I just want to kind of hunker down and stay in one place. But
yeah,
the game does not let you do that.
Keep moving.
Yeah. All right. Well, what you guys got for me?
You want to go ahead, Brady?
Yeah, sure. So I've kind of been on a dry streak lately. I just haven't been I needed something new to play. Haven't really played much. Austin and I played the Dauntless beta.
Oh yeah.
And
what was it like?
It's I feel like it's not ready yet. Like, I think Austin said, well, like, it's good, but there's just not enough stuff like yet. And I don't know. I think like that I agree with that, but I think it still needs to work on some things like graphic stuff and some like controls and other random things. When the first like time I booted it up, the game's like slightly blurry, and it just
everything has like a blurry tinge to it.
Yeah, and I don't know if they do it on purpose or just something they need to fix or whatever, but it almost makes it unplayable for me. And then the second thing is like input lag with like controls. That could be on like my end or whatever, but I know we were playing with another friend, Sai, and he was having the same problem as me. But I think they just need to smooth the game out a bit and add more content. It'll be pretty interesting, but I don't know if it should be in a beta yet. Like, there's really not much to do.
Yeah, I feel like if they release it as an alpha, open alpha, I would feel like it's a much more appropriate title. Not to bash on it by any means,
exactly.
Like you're saying, it's good. What they have in there is good. It's just there's not much to do.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that game. And then since I haven't been in the mood lately for much, I decided to break out my DS, and I was playing some Pokemon Platinum. Yeah, screw Sun and Moon.
Throwback.
Yeah, Sun and Moon they're not like traditional, so I have Sun, but I just don't like it as much. So I was like, I found it lying around, so I was like, I'll just throw this in and see how it is. But I like it. It's not one of like the better ones, I don't think, but I think all Pokemon are kind of like good.
The same.
General. Yeah, the same. Oh. So, I mean, yeah, good. They're all good. So they're all the same. Yeah. But yeah, so I've just been playing that. Nothing too exciting.
That's cool. Okay.
For me, I was like you said, Brady said, we played some Dauntless beta, and then other than that, I've been playing Stardew Valley. Just recently got that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And so I'm playing with you guys.
Yeah, we all played. That's something we can play.
And I ended up making a single player map, I guess, and I've been playing the crap out of that today.
It's really so nice.
Yeah.
It's just relaxing and
comfy.
It's it's heavily based off of Harvest Moon, which was I think a Game Boy Advance game.
I believe so.
Yeah, but I love that game. I played that all the time too. So it's really nice and it's almost nostalgic playing this. So
yeah, totally. Well, I mean, like, you know, it's just a super chill farming game. You know, you're not in a rush to do anything. Just you go day by day and you farm your stuff. It's got some amazing pixel art and really nice music. So it's just a very nice mellow game. You can't go wrong with it. I've forgotten, like, since I started playing with you guys again, like I forgot how nice the game is. Like it's just like it's just comfy.
Yep.
You know?
That's just the best way to describe it. Yeah. It's comfy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cuttlefish. Of course it's comfy.
Yeah.
There you go. Even their logo's cute.
No, wait, Chucklefish.
Chucklefish.
Yeah.
Whoops. Same thing. Logo regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, with all that out of the way, let's jump into the news. First thing on our list, the PUBG player count has halved since January. This is not surprising. No offense to Bluehole, but Fortnite has just kind of shown that they are the top dogs, and they just, I don't know, they got their own unique twist on it. It's free, it's accessible by literally everything. Like they're the new Skyrim at this point. It's bad joke.
It's not on VR. It's not on VR.
We're getting there. Just you wait. I mean, off topic, but there's also rumors of it coming to the Switch. So
what, Fortnite or PUBG?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Fortnite.
I know Fortnite. I thought you were talking about PUBG. I was like, whoa.
No, but yeah, PUBG's been on the decline for a while now, so this isn't too shocking for anybody. I don't honestly think there's any one big thing that contributes to this. It's a lot of little things that are just slowly building up. Well, I guess one thing you could attribute it to is Fortnite is definitely more kid friendly. Like if you're a parent and your kid's asking you for these two games, you see PUBG and you see Fortnite, like they're gonna jump to Fortnite immediately over something like PUBG.
And I mean, Fortnite's free, so
and it's free.
Like I think that's the main
you can't beat
right
that.
There. Yeah, it's free.
It's a lot less intimidating too to hop into, which I think has led to its success, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know if you can actually attribute the free thing. Because I guess you could, think of it like, yeah, I guess. I mean, I bought PUBG anyways, but I still jumped ship. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter, like whether you bought the game or not. Like, you know, it's Fortnite's appealing, and I could just hop into it because it's free. And so, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, I don't. I think just the free to play is the main factor in it. And also, I think the kind of like the hype is just everyone plays it, so it's like, oh, like I guess I'll play it, like, or whatever. So
there is definitely an aura of that. Like when something's this big, people feel like they need to check it out, you know, because they're being left out. You know, it's part of keeping up with the trends and that stuff. And Bluehole isn't taking it too well, obviously.
No, yeah, there's
with
suing
some lawsuits.
Yeah, we talked about it last podcast, right?
I hope so. I think we did.
Yeah. I think we did.
To quickly mention it, I'm not going to go into detail, but just in case we didn't, Bluehole, the creators for PUBG, are suing Epic Games, who makes Fortnite, for copying them, essentially. Bluehole is saying that we created the Battle Royale genre, you guys copied us, and that is grounds for a lawsuit. So I think they're just butthurt and a little salty
Definitely.
that Fortnite is outdoing
definitely.
them. Yeah. So...
But we could talk about this all day, every day, and
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see the results, and there really won't be anything to say about it until we get the outcome of the lawsuit.
Yeah. But so I mean, something
we'll definitely mention the outcome of that.
Yeah. Wonder how long it's gonna take. Actually, hopefully.
Oh, it could be a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like lawsuits drag, so it could be a while.
I wouldn't be surprised if like Epic purposely drags it out though. Just because why not?
Flex their billions of dollars on them.
that too.
Man.
But PUBG is still pulling in like 1.4 million users. So I mean, it's not like
they're still
like
they're doing fine.
Yeah, they're I think they're still like number 2.
They're not gonna pull a Radical Heights and just
just quit on us,
ghost us.
Yeah. So I
not anytime soon yet.
They're good on that.
Well, all right, let's move on. Second thing on our list, the Assassin's Creed Origins sequel has been leaked through a retail store. The name of the game is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And pretty much the gist of how it got leaked was like there was a little keychain with a Spartan warrior, I guess, or something, something like that. Just the head of that on a keychain is like Assassin's Creed, and so, whoops, retail's leaked another thing.
Yeah, I trust in retail. Like I don't know why they keep doing it.
Yeah, proving our theory that like relying on retail to not leak your games is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But in this case, Ubisoft did the best they could with it, and then like I think within the next day or two announced it officially. They had a little teaser of a dude like Spartan kicking a guy off a cliff. They're like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, here it is.
Woo-hoo.
It's I don't know, like we don't know anything about the game yet, but Origins came out a year ago, and so Origins was solid. Like from everything I've heard, I haven't personally played it, but from everything I've heard, Assassin's Creed Origin was a very good take into the series. They took some time off from the game. Before Origins, they were releasing them every year for a long time. But with Origins, they took like a year or almost 2-year break, I think, year and a half, something like that. They took a good break. Yeah, I think, they gave it an extra year to kind of stew, and it turned out better for it.
Yeah.
But now it looks like we're right back to the yearly releases, maybe.
Man, I feel like they got to be running out of ideas or something. Like,
I don't know.
How many Assassin's Creed games are there? There's like
7 now.
Yeah, there's too many.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it's
7 or 8.
Like
I stopped after
plays
Black Flag, which was 4 or 5.
5, I think.
No, that was 4.
4, okay.
Black Flag was 4.
There's too many. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
That was like 2012, I think. So
yeah, I haven't played
or 13.
I haven't played many of them, but this one actually looks interesting to me. So
it does. It certainly does. I think I'm just worried. Like people seem more okay. Like they're like this is only a year, but like Origins was so solid that this one will be too. And it's like, yes, that may be true, but the problem with the yearly releases was also the fact that it's just the same thing in a different setting, and I need more than that.
Yeah, do you know if it's the same studio? Like, is it like a sub studio or anything developing it for?
Pretty sure it's Ubisoft Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. Okay. Because I mean, did they work on Origins too?
I don't know.
Because I mean, I feel like if it was the same studio, then they definitely just pretty much copy and pasted like 90% of the stuff, and like because for pumping a game out like this in a year,
It's gonna have the same assets as the last game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait, this
so
character was in the
Odyssey.
last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Odyssey
same
was
animation.
done by Montreal. I think that is like their main studio.
Yeah,
so I'd
it is.
imagine this will be the same.
Man.
It's that's so little time to make a
So-
game.
Yeah, so little
Like,
time.
Assuming
Assuming it's coming out
it's-
this year. We're like
Assuming
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't
okay, we
start
are jumping
development before the last was released.
yeah, see that is a part of it. Like so Origins was released a year ago. It's generally uncommon for studios to be working on two big IPs at the same time. You know, like they'll get a small group that'll like break off and start like the like pre-production stuff very early on. But to have them make both of those games full blown at the same time, it can't be done. Both
Yeah.
games would suffer for it. And I don't know. That's how we got the buggy messes of the other games.
Yep.
So it's hard to say. I don't know. We are assuming that it's going to come out this year though. So
And this is
we could be jumping the gun.
Ubisoft. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
They have like an iffy track record, I feel like.
very. Yeah. I mean, I guess it does look interesting though. Like I'll say, I'm a sucker for the
Yeah,
whole
no, I think it does.
Grease
Yeah, and
thing.
there's not many games that are like this. The only thing, like, there's like Rise, Son of Rome, it's kind of more
Yeah, I was gonna say
recent.
that one was pretty.
But I mean, there hasn't
much
been
pre-
too many other games in this setting, so it might be interesting.
It could be. We'll have to wait and see,
Yeah.
as we always say. Next on the list, one of the bigger announcements of the week, Fallout 76 was announced. A brand new full-fledged Fallout IP is coming.
Mhm.
You say it was so.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah, you sound like-
I actually am this time. I will say this what I'm about to say is not at all confirmed, but it comes from the Kotaku journalist Jason Schreier, who has a good track record of being right about these things. Like he knows people all over the industry, and everybody tells him things ahead of time. So generally, if he says something about a game that isn't out yet or hasn't been announced, he's probably right. And so what he said is that this is not going to be a straight up single player RPG. This is going to be a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
With some aspect of building, whatever that means.
Yeah, the article title is Online Survival RPG.
Yes, so like Rust, I guess.
Yeah, that's the best
Settlements
example.
are coming back.
Don't bring that genre back, please. Like, just make it a battle royale and move on. I'll take that over open world survivals. But again, not much is known about this. There is some speculation that this will be in terms of timeline, the earliest in the Fallout series. Once again, speculation, but lore-wise, Fallout or Vault 76 was the first vault to open after the bombs dropped on destroying the world. They opened about 20 years up after all that happened. So very fresh, very early. You know, most of the other Fallout games take place like 200 plus years after the bombs dropped. So that gives some cool
list of all the dates.
Oh, do you know?
Yes.
But it gives some cool, like, they could put all sorts of really unique twists. Like this could look stylistically very different from the other games.
It's true.
There's a lot to it. Even in their
I don't think more desolate though than the Fallout games already are.
Yeah.
You think
It's
it
hard
will
to
be
say.
or
More desolate? I don't know. It's really hard to say. I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know much about the Fallout. Like, I'm not big on the Fallout series, so I can't like properly speculate. I just think that they have the chance to make things very different from the other titles. I want to say it's not super related to the announcement, but they streamed on Twitch all day the day before they announced it. And I was at work, and so I had nothing better to do. So I left it open, thinking like, oh, like this will go on for a couple hours, and then I'll see. Wrong. It went all day. It was super annoying. I don't get why they did that, why they had to draw it out like that. I don't know.
Like over 1 million people watching it. Didn't they have like 1.2 million viewers at some point or something?
No. It peaked at about 150K.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was very early on.
Weird number then.
I mean, in total, like throughout it, people might have tuned in. Not
Shave a
many
zero
tuned in,
off.
you know. Yeah, but like, you know, that peaked very early on, and then it steadily kept going down as people were like, "Okay, this is taking too long. I quit." You know, like understandably.
Yeah. We were gonna like write an article and everything, and then like we're like, okay, are they ever gonna announce anything?
Yeah, it took too long, so we gave up. But yeah, so it got announced. I was a little salty about wasting an entire day staring at nothing on the screen. Whatever.
Yeah, I think Jesus sure he said it like it'll be similar to DayZ, and I think that's a better way to put it compared to Rust.
Yeah,
because the standalone DayZ doesn't really have building right now, which the old ones, the mods did or do still.
Yeah, like Epoch had a huge building.
Yeah, Epoch. I know the Arma 2 DayZ mod. I think that was that Epoch or.
Yeah, that was Epoch.
Yeah, okay.
They might have made one for Arma 3 too. But...
Yeah. But I don't know if they're gonna carry over the same kind of building system that had in Fallout 4 into this, because if so, that might be interesting in like that format.
That would actually be awesome.
Yeah, because
I would love that.
It would be like the DayZ standalone doesn't have building or anything, and like the building was really fun. It made you kind of set up shop at somewhere and come back to it. And if they add like vehicles too, that'd be like 10 times like. That'd actually be a good like games coming from a AAA developer, which I don't know. We haven't had a game similar like kind of like that from a AAA.
Yeah, unique idea.
Yeah, so I don't know how it'll be, but that's how I like to see it. We ruled out. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'd like to be optimistic about this one because it does seem like they're trying something different.
Yeah, exactly. But we were kind of speculating, like when it said like multiplayer, like a MMO style, but we ruled that out pretty fast just because they already have Elder Scrolls Online and they essentially be competing with themselves, and Elder Scrolls isn't the best, so people would probably just migrate over. But
that's true.
I think it'll be interesting to see how they develop the multiplayer aspect in it. And
do you think it'll come out this year? Because Bethesda has a thing of like seemingly when they announce things, it generally comes out pretty shortly after they announce it. So do you think this is ready to go, or do we have like another year or two to wait?
I think
maybe like another year.
Oh, I was gonna say I think it will be this year because I think they're gonna announce other games that are gonna come out later.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Can we for a minute talk about why everybody announces everything before E3? Like,
I know.
Why is that the thing
E3?
now?
I know. Why are we even
There's
going?
no hype for E3 anymore except to find out more.
Yeah.
Things they already announced, which is maybe why they're doing it, but
it's weird. Like, yeah, honestly, like what's the point of the press conferences if I already know everything going in?
Exactly.
It's an interesting thing. I mean, it kind of goes into something we talked about in a previous episode, how the whole surprise and secrets around games, like it could kind of like maybe they're trying to get away from that and just like slowly trickle out information, and then we'll get the details of it at E3 maybe.
I mean,
it's still like it's still like strange. Like if E3 is set up for announcements, but then they announce everything prior, either they have a ton of stuff to announce or they just, I don't know, they're weird.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it'll still be interesting. I'm not a big Fallout fan. I think I played New Vegas and like 3, and that's really it. So I might actually pick this one up if it has something different compared to the other ones.
Yeah, I definitely will. Well, I say definitely. I don't know that. I probably will.
Yeah.
All right, let's carry on. Next thing on our list, a former Sony CEO and Epic Games are teaming up to fund some indie projects. Now, this is interesting in a good way. Because this it's like nothing like this has ever really been done before, I don't think, at least not on this scale. To give you some more details of it, I think they're naming the program Interactive Gaming Ventures. And basically what these guys are going to do is they will find indie projects, like super indie, like 2 to 3 people development teams, and be like, here's $1 to $5 million, make your game.
Yeah.
The only stipulations are that the games have to be made on the Unreal Engine, which is owned by Epic. And I believe, Brady, you said games that are licensed and sold that were made on Unreal, Epic takes a 30% cut of the pay.
Let me confirm that.
So I mean, they're going to be making a lot of money.
Jack Tretton is the former CEO of Sony.
Yes.
Who started this. And I think Interactive Gaming Ventures is his new company.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the name of the program that they're doing. I don't know if they have like a name for the program, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, this is there's not too many.
Wait,
what?
It's only 5%. Sorry, that's a big
Oh,
difference.
that's still a lot.
Okay.
Wait,
But
okay.
this
Looks like it's kind of weird. Like after a certain amount of money, you give so much and whatever, but it's not 30%.
Right.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. That's a good thing to clear up since we were very off.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much news or any information around this yet. This was just they announced it's like something they're doing. But it's really cool. It's a nice way for indie devs to get the funding. A lot of times indie games fizzle out because people just run out of money and can't afford to make their game anymore. So they either release it in the state it is and it's awful and not complete and people hate on them for it, or they just never release it, and then that's one potentially great game that just disappears forever. So this is nice that the big dogs are starting to look down and help out the little guys.
Yes,
it's really cool.
Something we talked about before the podcast was in the article on Kim Sutra. It says that they'll receive funding for milestone deliverables as well as assistance with promotion and distribution. And we were kind of arguing, like, does this still make them indie if they use the distribution of like Epic, or I guess we shouldn't say Sony because this is the former CEO of Sony. So
yeah, it's not Sony.
So we're just Epic Games. Like if they use if Epic publishes them or uses promotes them or something, it's still make them indie.
I think strictly technical speaking, like if you want to talk just straight up definitions, no. They're not indie developers anymore. The moment they take that money, the moment Epic publishes their game, they are not an indie developer because they're not independent. They're working through Epic. But I think what Epic is shooting for and why they're calling it an indie thing is that they're giving them full creative freedom.
That's
like
true.
all they're doing is giving them the money and then publishing it when it's out. Everything that's done in between is so they say, they are not going to touch. Whatever they decide to do to that game is totally up to the indie developers. I think this would mean that they may not even really need to showcase it, at least not as much, to Epic and stuff, I would think. But then again, it's a matter of like they're saying that, but even though Epic makes a ton of money, these are sizable investments to just drop on these like 2 guys, so you need you're gonna check on them, you have to, right?
Exactly.
That makes me curious on what the requirements will be for getting the money from them.
Yeah, maybe they'll have some sort of screening process they do.
Well,
I'm sure. I mean, they'll obviously, if they don't think it's going to be a good investment, they're not going to put the money into the company. But
yeah,
I'm curious if there's certain criteria they're asking for before you even are considered.
But they did say that it says receive funding for milestone deliverables, so that might be all right, we'll give you $100,000 of the 1 million, and then we'll give you the next after you showed this working, or something kind of like that. That's what I interpret that as.
That
and then
that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like, all right, here's $1 million. They could just be like, all right, see ya. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't know. And then they also said that they're investing in 2 to 3 per year over the next 7 years. So that could be like 21, devs or indie teams over the next 3 years. So we could see a decent amount of games come from this.
Pretty cool.
And then something else that we were talking about before was how the games have to be published on Unreal Engine, and Epic owns Unreal Engine, and so I want to know if they're gonna still take the percentage cut from the games after they're published, or if they'll be they'll waive it for these guys because they're kind of giving them money. Because I mean, if Epic takes it, if the game succeeds, they might even make a good amount of their money back just from.
Well, yeah, I think that's exactly why they're okay with this, because that's return on investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. It's just a circle.
I bet you anything they'll still take the 5% cut.
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you they will.
Yeah. I don't see why they wouldn't.
And then I think they're just flexing their money at this point. It's like, all right,
they got more money than they know what to do with.
Yeah, it's pretty much they're just like, well, we might as well put it back into the community and developer scene.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
honestly, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh yeah, Epic is pretty cool. All right, let's move on. Next thing on our list, Bungie, the developers behind Halo and more recently Destiny 2. Have gotten a 100 million investment from a company called NetEase. So this is a very strange arrangement that is happening. NetEase is a distribution company in China. They just, you go to them and they distribute their game. They're a lot like Tencent.
I consider them competitors.
Yeah, they're essentially competitors. What's strange, that in itself isn't strange. If a company, they want to get their game out, Destiny 2 out in China, there's nothing wrong with that. That would make sense. China has a lot of a big gaming audience, so it could rake them in a lot of money. What's strange about this is they are trying to say it's not about that. I feel like they're lying to themselves. Let me read
Bungie
this quote.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a quote from the CEO of Bungie, Pete Parsons. He says, "Really, what this partnership is about is bringing the expertise NetEase has, sharing ideas, and allowing us to incubate new ideas. There's no explicit deal to publish our games in China. It's more that they share our passion for games, our passion for building worlds that inspire friendship and building communities, and that's the entire focus of it." This makes no sense to me personally because NetEase, they're not game developers. They're just a distribution company. They don't really, I don't imagine, take too much consideration into how cool the story of your world is and stuff. It's they take the product and they throw it out there.
Yeah, they're basically, they help build a community and distribute the game and whatnot into the Chinese market. So literally going exactly against what he's saying there.
Yeah.
Because what else? What else is their purpose then?
Here's what I think. This is
consulting.
This is my hot take on it. What he's trying to make it sound like they're not trying to get more money because lately Bungie has shown that they're a bunch of greedy jerks and just want money. So we worded it like this. But what he's really saying is, we're going to show them our product. They're going to help us localize it and make it okay for the Chinese audience. And that's their idea of building the world, by going through the localization process that you literally have to do to get a game released in another country. So, yeah. And they're just trying to spin that in a nice, friendly way of we're making worlds together. No, you're not. You're just getting your product ready to be shipped out in China.
Yeah, I think that goes back to Austin saying just a consulting, essentially.
Yeah. Exactly.
But Like I feel like something that says in the article is that they also got a board seat on the board of directors, and they like also took a minority stake in the company. I feel like that's a lot to take for just a localization or just a consultant. So maybe this could be like maybe NetEase's like way of getting into the like Eastern or Western scene for us, and then us getting into, you know, the Chinese or whatever. It could be like going both ways, but I think if they get a board on the seat on the board of directors, I think it's more than just a localization.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But I mean, I don't understand what they're gonna help Bungie with besides the localization. So
yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Something else that also kind of contradicts what they're talking about. This is another thing Pete Parsons said. I quote, "But ultimately, we want to be a global game and entertainment company." There's more to it, but that's the gist of what he's saying. So essentially, he's like, we want to release and sell games all over the world, which sounds like a nice way of saying you just want more money.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's fine. It's totally fine that you want to have your game like more accessible. There's nothing wrong with that, but just say it. Like, quit beating around the bush and being like, yeah, these are our new creative buddies. They're super, you know, they do cool stuff. Like, it's like, dude, just say it. Just say you want the game out in China. That's fine.
I did when like Tencent bought some stake in like Bluehole and stuff, did they say like that's why they did it? Or because I know they said that Tencent was gonna publish it for them in China, but
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you, but like it's just weird that they're trying to like spin it this way, because it can't be that unless like NetEase is gonna completely flip and like next thing. You know, next week's gonna be like NetEase like shuts down and becomes an indie game studio. Like,
yeah, they're 15,000 employees they have.
Yeah,
yeah, they're billions of dollars.
Yeah, and is Destiny 2 not out in China?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume not, just because like why else would they like suddenly make a deal with these guys? But let's find out. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. I gotta say this really quick. There you go. Let me say this really quick because this is really funny to me. I was just now trying to Google is Destiny 2 out in China. I typed in is Destiny 2 and the first thing that popped up was dead.
Rip.
That's a little sad. Ouch. Ouchies. All right. Well, that's really. There's not much more to be said about that.
Yeah. Wait. To answer the question though, I don't think it's out in China. You have to for PS4 and PC. So. Right.
So, again, further backing, they're doing this because they want it out in China.
Yeah, I think that's why. And they don't want to go with Tencent for some reason.
It sure seems that way.
I really don't like that they're being like weirdly shady about it. Like,
very.
It's like, dude, we already all know that you guys are greedy as hell. So just say it. We want more money. We want our game out in China. Whatever. I don't care, man. This just makes you look weird.
Yeah, really.
All right. Well, next thing on our list, a new Star Citizen bundle has been announced and released. It's called the Legatus, right? Legatus pack.
Yeah.
So this pack costs $27,000 to purchase. It gets you everything in the game, every spaceship, every cosmetic item, like every little thing you could ever want or could ever possibly hope to get in Star Citizen. You get it all by purchasing this bundle. You also can only view this bundle. You get a completed
game?
You get the entire game.
Oh, you have to wait for it though. Right?
The game's not done yet, so
it's not done yet. Yeah. So yeah, that's actually an interesting thing. This is one of their old bundles. They just upped the price because they added a few more things. Yeah, because the price of this bundle was originally $15,000.
Yeah. Whoa.
And they just that's it. But it's you can't even look at the thing unless you've spent at least $1,000 on the game, right? I believe.
Yeah.
It's just weird, and there's as stupid as this sounds to like every regular person, there's definitely people who have already bought it.
Yeah, Kotaku said that they couldn't confirm whether someone's actually bought the pack or not, but someone has.
Without a doubt, somebody definitely has.
Yeah, that irritates me so much.
There's people who have that much money to blow. Yeah, it's like almost $30,000.
That much money to blow and like that much disregard for what else they could use that money on.
Right.
True.
Whatever.
I guess they're funding an indie game studio making a.
No, you're not. Not anymore, dude. Star Citizen is like on another level at this point.
Yeah,
the one thing I think
like a scam if I've ever heard of one.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's getting there.
We're getting into scam territory with these guys.
It's been like 6 years.
They're never releasing this game. The thing I think is weird about this, specifically this bundle or the idea behind it, like, why would you want to buy? It's like, say, like buying a World of Warcraft account that already has like all the max gear, has every achievement completed. Like, you're gonna go into that and like there's nothing for you to do because you've already done everything. You know,
think about that.
Like that's how I think of it. Like I like to always have something to strive towards when I'm playing a game. If I were to buy this pack, I already own every ship. I already own every cosmetic. I've more or less, just by buying that, done everything there is to do. I have nothing to really work towards unless I'm like really into space roleplay, I guess.
So at this point in time, what can you do in the game? It's been a long time since I've played it.
Actually do a decent amount.
You can do a good amount.
But it's I actually tried to play it not too long ago, and it was pretty much unplayable for me because it's so like resource intensive. And I was getting like 15 FPS and the game would just crash. And I was like, all right. And that's kind of what happened to me before, where I was getting a little higher FPS, but I just couldn't run it normally, so I just gave up. And but anyways, they have like several planets you could go to now. They have a decent amount of like ships and I think missions you could do. I don't really know in terms of like player interaction, like what we could do with other players, or like they kind of, I think Will might know, but they kind of like advertises you could do whatever you want essentially. Like I think think of it kind of like comparing it to like a first person Eve in a way. But yeah, there's stuff to do, but I don't know if it justifies like buying the game yet. Like I think it's like still alpha stage.
It's definitely still alpha. I don't know, man. Like there's he's right. There's a lot to do. You can fly to planets, you can do space mining, you can raid other ships, you know, like there's a good amount there, but the game's still horribly optimized. Like there's so much wrong with it. It's very clearly an alpha product, and yet they're having the audacity to say like, hey, spend $27,000 on our game that's nowhere near completion.
Yeah.
And the problem is people
ballsy.
It is, and yet people like are blind enough to do it. Like, you know, there's people out there that are like, you know, so in love with the idea of the game that they will drop this money on it. And I can't like, it's a tough spot of like, you can't blame them because the idea of Star Citizen is amazing.
It really is.
But
some of the stuff they have is so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but
it's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
like, at this point, it's not going to happen.
It'd be awesome, but
yeah, I think they kind of bit off more than they could chew, and like they have a thing on their website where they have milestones, which I think this is kind of cool because it holds them accountable. But they kind of have like milestones of when they should have things done, what state it's in, and etc. But some of the things that they're doing is like insane. Like they want to have. Okay, this goes back to the finish the game, but they want to have it so essentially they're gonna make some sort of AI that could just build cities, like randomly generate cities like on planets. so they don't have to go and hand make cities anymore.
What?
So like, yeah, they're kind of doing like pretty like, next gen stuff to help
definitely.
them out.
Yeah.
So like, I think, like, I don't know how to describe it, but like as they go on, they get more done faster. Like it kind of the line becomes steeper and steeper. So I think when the next like year or two, we'll see a lot get done. But that's being really optimistic.
I would love to go back on everything I think about it, like negative thoughts, because it'd be great if that actually came to fruition. It was a full, complete game, because the idea behind it is awesome.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm a hater.
I'll take a weirdly optimistic stance on it. I think that these guys are being very genuine, and I think they do want to release the game, but they're having a Peter Molyneux complex of, they're making all these promises of like, yeah, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that, we're gonna have all these billion things in our game, and they won't be satisfied until they have all that. Like, they won't release it until they have all that list, that ever-growing list. That list is always going to be added onto. The only difference here between like these guys and say Peter Molyneux is Peter Molyneux had deadlines that he had to make. And at a certain point, like there's like, okay, we have to release the game. And that's why Peter Molyneux has the rep of being a liar, because he'd make all these promises and they couldn't do it in the deadline. These guys don't have a deadline because people are paying $27,000 for their, game.
Do you want to?
So
who's Peter Molyneux, real fast?
Thank you. Peter Molyneux is once famous guy, now infamous. He is known for making the God game type of video games, essentially where you kind of are hovering over and controlling little people and helping them build a village and stuff. Games like Black and White, Goddess, Fable. I think he worked for, I want to say EA. I could be wrong about that, but he was essentially a big video game designer who was a very creative and ambitious man. It just, he didn't fully understand the constraints of the industry, and that like you can't always follow up on all these things that you want to do. You got to be realistic about it.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think that's what the Star Citizen fellas are doing. It's just that they can just keep at it forever because people keep giving them money, and they don't have a publisher going like, hey, you need to stop and you need to release this right now. So they'll keep at it. I'd like to believe that they just genuinely want to have this awesome game. I don't know.
I think I agree.
That'd be nice. That's a nice way to think of it.
I mean, yeah, if it does finish, it'll be unlike anything else. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. But then there's also the risk of like, will anybody even care? 30 years from now when it releases. I don't know. All right, let's move on. The next thing on our list, Battlefield 5, to tack onto the reveal they announced last week. They have tweeted about one of their new game modes called Airborne Mode. And this is the way, let me just read the tweet to you. It says, say hello to a new Battlefield 5 mode where you'll parachute into the battlefield and work with your squad to destroy enemy artillery or defend them and make sure the threat from above is dealt with. And then they have a little picture of like an airplane thing. Yeah, big airplane. I almost said helicopter. I don't know why. This is interesting. I think, I don't know, like, I don't know. What do you guys think that means? So you guys know more about Battlefield than I do. What is this gameplay like? What would the gameplay for this be?
I think it's gonna be like missions essentially, and I don't know if you remember one of the Call of Duties, I think Modern Warfare 3, they had like a Spec Ops mode where it was like a survival mode, and you just kind of
that was Modern Warfare 3,
and I think it's gonna be similar to that, but like with like vehicles or some other kind of like twist on it. But I don't know. I don't think it's anything too special, really.
So would it be like versus AI or other players? Like, what do you?
I didn't think about that. I think it'll be AI. Like
the way it's phrased, it sounds like AI.
Yeah, like the enemy artillery. Like it's not like they're saying like opponent or something. Like
yeah. I don't know. It's it's just it's a very pre-E3 thing to do. Just tease out some little piece of gameplay and get people like us, get our brains spinning and see what we can come up with, and then they'll show us, and we'll all be wrong probably.
Yeah. But okay, I'm just looking at it more. So I think it's gonna be primarily. So it says you'll parachute into the battlefield, and you destroy enemy artillery or defend them, and make sure the threat from above is dealt with. So I think you're gonna be like primarily like air battles. So like air and like vehicles. So like you'll be fighting other people's vehicles or.
So you think like dogfights and stuff?
Well, it says like
well, it says parachuting,
really
so that implies ground troops.
No, I know, but then it says defend them and make sure the threat from above is dealt with. So something from a like
because one team is the artillery. They may have like you have the one team on the ground who's manning these big artillery cannons and they're shooting up at the guys, and the other dudes maybe flying around doing bombing runs and like dropping soldiers in to dive in and like sabotage it from the ground. Which sounds like a very battlefieldy thing to do.
Yeah, so each person's doing something different then, kind of thing. Or
it could be, yeah.
Some people are doing something different. Okay, I see that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
If they had like different squads in the same team with different missions, like you destroy point A, you destroy point B, etc.
But
instead of it just being like you all do whatever.
But
it kind of reminds me of Battlefront 1, the new Battlefront 1 had a game mode where you had to escort an AT-AT walker, across area until it got to a base and blow up that base.
Yeah.
So this sounds like maybe it could be kind of a similar thing.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like it just sounds like a game mode, like you just queue into just like
like I think that's what it is.
Yeah. So I don't like just like Conquest or Rush or whatever, just like one of those. I'm thinking of like
just another thing to play.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like its own like separate game mode kind of thing, but I think it just blends in with all the other multiplayer ones and just something new like that.
When I originally read the tweet, I thought they were gonna say it was like dogfights, because it would be so cool being in like the front of like one of those like old bomber jets, just like in a turret, like shooting off like fighter pilots as they come at you and stuff.
Get
to the objective or something, like it'd be so neat. But
that would
doesn't sound like that.
Yeah, that would actually be interesting. Kind of like the galaxy fights and like the Battlefronts. At least have like it's all air combat. That'd be kind of interesting.
Or I could just go play War Thunder.
Man, wait,
sorry.
Did you guys ever play? There's this game on the Wii that I used to play that was it's like something Angels. It was like
dude. Yes. Oh my
what's
god.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Crap. I don't. I don't know. I know exactly what you're talking about, Brady. I played it all the time, but I don't know what it's called.
But it was a good
Blazing Angels.
Blazing Angels. That might be it. Oh, wait, here. Wait,
man. We're getting way off topic, but yes, it is Blazing Angels.
Because that was they did a good job with.
It's Blazing Angels.
Yeah.
Okay. Sick. I'm very happy we found it out.
Yes, me too.
All right. Next thing on our list, a teaser trailer for a game called Sinking City has come out. It is a Lovecraftian looking survival horror game, I guess. Did they give a description on what like
investigative mystery game?
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm already in.
Yeah, right.
Love Lovecraft.
Yeah, Lovecraft mythos is super cool. The idea of just much like Lovecraft itself, you're not some big hero taking on Cthulhu. You're just a guy who's maybe interested or has heard rumors of these beasts, and you go to investigate and find out and get caught up in something way above your head. And that's tight. I'm cool with that. There's another Cthulhu looking game coming out pretty soon too. I think. I don't know what it's called. But I'm glad to see. Oh, go ahead.
This one's interesting because it's talking about indie. This one is independent, so it's not being published by any big companies. So it's just being developed by Frogwares.
Yeah, Frogware.
And released by them. So it's kind of interesting.
They made they also made the Sherlock Holmes games, a couple of the Sherlock Holmes games.
Yeah.
Which I haven't played them. I just picked kind of put them on my radar because they meet a certain thing that I like in games, but I've heard they're very solid games, and so it'll be cool to see what comes of that. You know, they have a track record of making pretty decent games, so we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, it's nice that the Cthulhu mythos is getting kind of a revival in video games. Like, you know, early 2000s, a couple people tried to make games and they kind of fell on their face and nobody bothered to try for a long time. And now it's back. And that's cool. I'm happy with that. It's, you know, I don't even think they have a release date for this. It's kind of like release date TBD. So
yeah,
TBD.
So we don't know yet. It could be a while.
Yeah.
But it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I'm excited. I wonder, I read a thing, this could have just been clickbait, but when I was looking at the teaser or watching the teaser on YouTube, there was a thing, a video, like a related video calling it a new open world Cthulhu game.
Yeah, there is some adventure aspect to it. I think it's going to be somewhat open world. I'm not sure if it's 100% open world, but they have mentioned that there's going to be some sort of like adventure aspect to it.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. They've been releasing some videos here and there along the development of it.
Yeah, there's like some
Interesting.
gameplay trailer.
Yeah, some
stuff.
gameplay and behind the scenes stuff, which is kind of neat.
Oh, nice. Well, I'll have to check that out. I didn't actually know that. Well, all right. That wraps everything up for our news. Let's jump over into our final thing, this day in games. We are going to tell you about something video game related that happened on this day and talk about it and why it may be relevant to us. I'll start off. On this day in games, it's not May anymore. June 3rd, 2003, the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind's Blood Moon expansion came out. This is an interesting one because it's not really directly related to me. I haven't played too much of Morrowind, but I am a very big Elder Scrolls fan, and I can respect Morrowind because it's so different from any other Elder Scrolls game. It kind of takes place in an almost alien-like world, you know, very, very different from the whole standard medieval Europe stuff we got with Oblivion and the medieval Nordic of Skyrim. So, yeah, that came out today. That was, oh God, how long ago was that? I'm not going to do math on the spot and embarrass myself. It was in 2003. If you want to figure out how many years that go, thank you, 15 years ago. Let the engineer answer the basic math questions for me.
Yeah.
All right, Brady, what you got for us?
Sure. So on this day in games, I already forgot the date, even though I just said it, June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Midnight Club 2 came out.
Oh yeah.
So this game significant for me because it was probably my favorite PSP game. I'm pretty sure this is I'm thinking about Midnight Club 3.
Yeah, we talked about
Midnight Club 3. Okay,
yeah.
Regardless. Well, go ahead.
I was just going to cut you off to answer that Twitch guy. He likes my pop vinyls.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm very proud of my pop vinyls. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a good racing series, and it's kind of like it's also made by Rockstar, and they don't make many games anymore, so it's something to cherish. Okay, I phrased that weird. They make games, but they're pretty limited on what they make nowadays.
Right.
But I know the third was like fantastic. I had that on my PSP. This one came out. Wait, what was the date? This is 2003. There's 2 years in between them, so it wasn't that long. But it's a good racing game, like street racing game. Which nowadays, I guess there's like Burnout, but there's not many like open world kind of street racing games like that. And yeah, Midnight Club 3, good game, even though I never played it.
Even though we were talking about Midnight Club 2.
Good series.
Like, whatever. Good series. All right, Austin, what you got?
This day in games, back in 2010, Paper Toss was released. Yeah. If you guys remember that, that was an old mobile game, I believe.
Yes.
You just flick little paper balls into a trash can. And I think it was pretty popular in the mainstream. everyone was playing it. Everyone was on their phone playing it, and just.
I played so much
It
of
was
that
a
game.
goofy game, but it was fun.
Yeah.
More than I'd like to admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not much else to
definitely
say about that.
yeah, really. That literally is the whole game. You just threw papers into a bin. It was the perfect. I definitely burned away a lot of classes just screwing around with that instead of like actually working.
Yeah, but it was like it had its difficulties. Like it was like simple, but it was complex. Like they had like like fans and so
yeah,
and you gotta like curve it, and then it's like distance too. So it
game
was,
design, my dude.
Yeah, next gen.
Oh, nice. All right, I'm gonna. You have 21 pops. I have just in case you're curious. I have I think. Last time I did a count, I have around 70 in total. They're not all up on display, but I have a lot of pops.
Will has 71 pops, everyone. Get that.
If you want to do the math on that real quick, pops are about $10 a piece. Oh my god. No. That can't be right, dude. Maybe I don't have 70. I don't want to think I've spent that much. Forget I said
you got some as gifts.
Some of them are
some
gifts.
As gifts, yeah. They're
Let's write it off as that.
They go up in value, like Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
Dude, I just bummed myself out so hard.
Don't think about it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna think about it. All right. Well, that wraps up our show. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you want to keep up with us, you can watch us on Twitch. We're also going to be streaming regular games more often. I know Rebecca and I are going to keep up with the Alien Isolation.
Yeah, I know I'd like to get a schedule going or something.
Yeah, we're definitely going to try and iron out some like real scheduling stuff in the future. But let's say for now, to play it safe, at the very least once a week, we will be streaming something that's not this podcast on Sunday nights. But yeah, you can also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Steam, Discord. I'm not going to say them all because I was told not to. Sorry.
They're linked below, whatever platform you're on. Below.
We also have a website, other things too. All right.
GamersGrove.net.
GamersGrove.net. Just going to say that at least one. All right. That wraps it up. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope to see you all next time.
Peace.